Hello everyone, I'm Grace. Today I'm going to teach you some particle time words and phrases often used in daily conversations. By the way, if you would like to download a PDF of today's lesson, you can find the link in the description. It includes the illustration in today's video, vocabulary list, and some exercises. It would also help support my channel, so I would really appreciate it. Okay, without further ado, let's get started. So most of the time words in this video belong to a group of special nouns that can be put at the beginning of a sentence before or after a subject. For example, 今天我不出门. Today I'm not going out. 今天 today is a type noun and here it's added before the subject 我 I. A type noun can also be added after the subject, like 我今天不出门. Here, the time noun is after the subject. But there are some time words that are adverbs. They're usually placed after a subject. For instance, 我马上回来. 我马上回来. I'll be right back. The adverb 马上 immediately should be placed after the subject 我 I and before the verb 回来 to come back. Okay, now let's get into the time words of today's lesson. To express now, you can say 现在, 现在. For example, 我现在有点忙. 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 I'm a bit busy now. 现在他正在上课. 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 Now he is in class.
那现在呢？
现在你是还债。
Another way to express the present moment is 目前. 目前. It means currently at the moment, and it often contains the meaning of now it's like this, but in the future it might be different. For example, 他目前没有工作. 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 He doesn't have a job at the moment. 目前这间公司没有职缺. 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 Currently, this company doesn't have a job vacancy.
排名第一的叫 Q， 是个野生的加拿大 ID， 目前不知道在不在这群人当中。
Next, if you want to express recently, lately, you can say 最近, 最近. For instance, 我最近在准备考试. 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 I've been preparing for an exam lately. 最近大家都在讨论这个议题. 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 Recently, everyone's been discussing this issue.
最近我有一些新的感悟。
Now let's learn some words and phrases to talk about the past. The first one, if an action just happened a moment ago, you can say 刚or 刚才. 刚 and 刚刚 are pretty similar. They're adverbs, so they are placed after a subject and before a verb. For instance, 他刚回来. 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 He just came back. 我刚吃饱. 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 I just ate and I'm full. 他刚刚说什么? 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 What did he just say? But 刚刚 can also be a type noun, so sometimes it can appear before a subject. For example, 刚刚他有急事先走了。刚刚他有急事先走了。刚刚他有急事先走了。Just a moment ago, he had an emergency and had to leave early.
你这两天都跑哪儿去了？
我刚刚到长沙。
As for 刚才, this is a time noun. It also means just a moment ago. Let's see some examples. 他刚才不在这里，所以不知道发生了什么事。他刚才不在这里，所以不知道发生了什么事。他刚才不在这里，所以不知道发生了什么事。He wasn't here just a moment ago, so he doesn't know what happened. 刚才我终于找到我的手机了。刚才我终于找到我的手机了。刚才我终于找到我的手机了。Just a moment ago, I finally found my phone. Now let's compare 刚刚 and 刚才 so you know when to use the right one. Compared to 刚才, 刚 emphasize more on the time that is short from the action that happened. Like 他刚回来 he just came back. While 刚才 focuses more on the action itself that just happened. Like 刚才我终于找到我的手机了。Just a moment ago, I finally found my phone. However, compared to 刚才 and 刚刚 implied that the action has already been completed and finished. For example, 他刚刚说什么？他刚刚说什么？ What did he just say? 他刚才不在这里。他刚才不在这里。He was not here just a moment ago. While 刚 can be used like this, it can also be used when an action is still ongoing. For instance, 他刚睡 he just went to sleep. Okay, now let's move on to the next time word. 不久之前不久之前 It means not long ago. For example, 不久之前我把手机弄丢了。不久之前我把手机弄丢了。不久之前我把手机弄丢了。Not long ago, I lost my phone. 他们不久前买了新房子。他们不久前买了新房子。他们不久前买了新房子。They bought a new house not long ago.
不久前我认识一个小男孩，看他，似乎就看见了20年前的自己。
Next, when you want to express a while ago, you can use 前一阵子、前阵子、前一阵子、前阵子 or 前一段时间、前段时间、前一段时间、前段时间。For example, 他们前阵子分手了。他们前阵子分手了。他们前阵子分手了。A while ago, they broke up. 前一段时间这首歌很红。前一段时间这首歌很红。前一段时间这首歌很红。A while ago, this song was very popular.
我前阵子跟我女朋友去看了一个电影叫《血滴子》。
Okay, next, I want to teach you 2 ways to express before.
之前常常跟一个朋友骑车。
If what you're talking about is not from long ago, you can use 之前 but if it's something that happened a long time ago, like when you were in elementary school, then use 以前 Let's see some examples. If you want to say I've come here before, you can say 我之前来过这里。我之 前来过这里。我之前来过这里 or 我以前来过这里。我以前来过这里。我以前来过这里。But the second sentence implies that you haven't been here for a long time.
以前吵架，2个小时以内他肯定哄我。
If something happened from a very long time ago, you can say 很久以前，很久以前，很久以前。For example, 那是很久以前的事情了。那是很久以前的事情了。那是很久以前的事情了。That's something that happened a very long time ago. 他从很久以前就喜欢你了。他从很久以前就喜欢你了。他从很久以前就喜欢你了。He has liked you for a very long time. Okay, now let's shift gears and learn some words and phrases to talk about the future. First, you can say 马上to express immediately or right away. 马上 is an adverb that should be placed after the subject. For example, 我马上就到。我马上就到。我马上就到。I will be right there. 等我一下，我马上回来。等我一下，我马上回来。等我一下，我马上回来。Give me a moment, I will be right back.
老板马上就来了。
Next, when you want to express later, you can say 等一下，等下，等一下，等下，待会，待会 or 晚一点，晚点，晚一点，晚点。等一下，等下 and 待会 are basically the same. They mean in a moment. Compared to them, 晚一点，晚点 is a bit later. So if you say 我等一下要去上课，我等一下要去上课 or 我待会要去上课，我待会要去上课。You're expressing that you're going to class soon. But if you say 我晚一点要去上课，我晚一点要去上课。我晚一点要去上课。People assume that you still have some time before going to class.
喂，
等一下可以骑小踏车送我回家吗？
你别忙活了，我待会儿就走了。吃2块西瓜有什么？
The next one is the opposite of 不久之前，不久前 not long ago. That is 不久之后，不久后，不久之后，不久后 not long after. For example, 他不久之后就要换工作了。他不久之后就要换工作了。他不久之后就要换工作了。Not long after, he will change jobs. 不久后我就要毕业了。不久后我就要毕业了。不久后我就要毕业了。Not long after, I will graduate.
以前还真没有，以后啊说不准。
啊？
也许在不久之后，我就会因为谋杀韩国知名巨星的罪名被逮捕。
If the time is later than 不久后, you can say 过一阵子，过阵子，过一阵子，过阵子 or 过一段时间，过段时间，过一段时间，过段时间。They mean after a while For example, 过一阵子我再告诉你。过一阵子我再告诉你。过一阵子我再告诉你。After some time, I will tell you. 过段时间他心情就会变好了，不用担心。过段时间他心情就会变好了，不用担心。过段时间他心情就会变好了，不用担心。After a while, he will feel better. Don't worry.
过一段时间，某一天你洗洗澡，听听音乐，突然间你想起他，那个时候啊，你已经忘记他了。
And now here are 2 ways to express in the future. The first one is the opposite of 之前, which is 之后. Another one is 以后. Compared to 之后, 以后 emphasizes more on the distant future. For example, when I was in elementary school, the teacher asked me what I wanted to do in the future. I said, 我以后想当老师。我以后想当老师。我以后想当老师。I want to be a teacher in the future.
以后好好保重。
啊。
Let's see an example of 之后 which is not that far in the future. 他之后要搬到台北。他之后要搬到台北。他之后要搬到台北。He will move to Taipei in the future. When you want to express after a very long time, you can say 很久以后，很久以后。For instance, 可能要很久以后我才不会在意这件事。可能要很久以后我才不会在意这件事。可能要很久以后我才不会在意这件事。Maybe it will take a very long time before I can get over this. 他说他要很久以后才有可能升迁。他说他要很久以后才有可能升迁。他说他要很久以后才有可能升迁。He said it would take a very long time before he could probably get promoted. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you for watching to the end. Next week, we will be exploring part 2 of time words. Today, the reference point was now, but in the next video, I will teach you some time words and phrases that will help you express your stories in the past or things that are about to happen in the future. Alright then, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel and remember to turn on your notification. I will see you next week. Bye!